In politics, there are moments when a voice rises above the noise, not because it is the loudest, but because it refuses to shake. Today, that voice belongs to Representative Jasmine Crockett. If you've watched Congress recently, you've probably seen her sharp, direct, unwilling to be pushed aside. Supporters call her fearless, critics call her confrontational. But no matter where you stand, one thing is undeniable. Jasmine Crockett does not back down. So the question is why? What built that steel in her spine? And what does it mean for America right now? Let's break it down. It often starts the same way: a hearing room, bright lights, long desks, lawmakers taking turns with prepared remarks that blur together, and then Crockett leans into the microphone. Her tone changes the temperature. She doesn't dance around the point. She doesn't soften the edges. Whether she's challenging officials, defending voting rights, or pushing back on former President Trump and his allies, her message is simple. Accountability matters. Clips of her exchanges spread fast online. Millions watch. Some cheer, others fume, but people keep pressing replay because in a place many Americans see as scripted and stale, Crockett sounds real. To understand why she won't back down, you have to go back long before the viral videos. Before Congress, Jasmine Crockett was a civil rights attorney in Texas. She represented people who felt unheard, people who believed the system ignored them, people who were told to accept less. In courtrooms, backing down can mean someone loses their freedom, their home, or their future. That kind of training doesn't leave you. So when Crockett entered politics, she carried that same mindset with her. If a fight is worth having, it's worth standing firm inside her own party. Crockett represents a new generation, younger, faster, media savvy, unafraid of confrontation. She understands the modern battlefield isn't just the House floor, it's social media, cable news, viral clips, and digital narratives. Every sentence can travel worldwide in seconds. So she speaks in a way designed to cut through, short, clear, memorable, and that makes her powerful. Here's something many people don't see: Washington runs on pressure, quiet conversations, side advice, warnings about tone, suggestions to be careful. Some lawmakers, especially newcomers, learn to smooth their words, lower the volume, avoid making enemies. But Crockett has made a different calculation. She believes soft language often protects powerful people, and she has decided that is not why voters sent her there. So instead of retreating, she doubles down. Let's be honest, backing down can be comfortable. It avoids headlines. It keeps relationships calm. It makes fundraising simpler. But Crockett keeps choosing the harder road. Why? Because for her supporters, each confrontation is proof that someone is finally saying out loud what they feel at home. They see courage. They see clarity. They see representation, and that fuels her. Politics today is performance as much as policy. Crockett understands timing, phrasing, and impact. She knows when to pause, when to raise an eyebrow, when to let a sentence land like a hammer. It's not accidental, it's strategy. A viral moment can shape national conversation faster than 100 quiet meetings, and she plays that game well. Of course, not everyone is impressed. Opponents argue that her style increases division. They say it turns serious governance into viral theater. They worry heat replaces light. Some even believe confrontation makes compromise harder. Those criticisms follow her every day, but here's the key: they haven't changed her approach. Ask her voters, and you'll hear something different. They say, finally, someone is fighting. Finally, someone is not intimidated. Finally, someone talks like the stakes are real. To them, backing down would feel like betrayal. Crockett's rise reflects something larger happening in American politics. Voters are rewarding authenticity, or at least what feels authentic. Polished caution is out. Direct challenge is in. Lawmakers who hesitate risk disappearing from attention. Those who take bold stance dominate the conversation. Crockett has chosen visibility, and visibility brings influence. The big question now: can refusing to back down translate into lasting political power? Will it lead to bigger leadership roles, more national attention, or deeper resistance from opponents? No one knows, but if history is a guide, Jasmine Crockett is unlikely to change course. So why does Jasmine Crockett refuse to back down? Because her career began in fights for people without power. Because her voters expect resistance, not retreat. Because modern politics rewards conviction. And because, to her, silence can be complicity. Love her or criticize her, she has become one of the clearest examples of a new political reality. The era of quiet lawmakers is fading, and Jasmine Crockett is wide awake. Standing firm may look powerful on camera, but in Washington, it can come with consequences. Lawmakers who speak bluntly often find doors closing, invitations dry up, relationships cool. The quiet networks that move legislation can become harder to access. Every sharp exchange can create a new rival, yet those close to Crockett say she understands the trade. Influence, in her view, is not only measured by private meetings. It's also measured by whether ordinary people feel someone is finally willing to confront power in public, and that is a currency she values deeply. Friends and allies often point to something else. Crockett was shaped in environments where toughness was required, legal battles, community advocacy, high-stakes debates, places where politeness alone didn't deliver justice. From that perspective, confrontation isn't recklessness, it's responsibility. If the issue involves civil rights, voting access, or fairness under the law, she believes strong language matches the seriousness of the moment. To pull punches, supporters argue, would sanitize the truth. There's another reason her voice travels so far online. Many Americans feel politics happens to them, not with them. Processes are complicated, bills are massive, negotiations are hidden, but when Crockett speaks in direct, everyday language, people hear something familiar: the frustration they express at dinner tables and in group chats. In that sense, she becomes more than a lawmaker, she becomes a translator, turning institutional debate into emotional clarity. Her approach can clash with long-standing traditions of the Capitol. For decades, influence often came from seniority, patience, and relationship building behind closed doors. Crockett represents a generation less willing to wait its turn. Why whisper for years, they argue, when urgency is now? Why protect etiquette if communities feel unprotected? That generational friction is redefining how politics looks, sounds, and spreads. Every viral clip reinforces the cycle. More visibility brings more supporters. More supporters create higher expectations. Higher expectations demand continued boldness. Backing down doesn't just become unlikely. It becomes almost impossible, because once people see you as a fighter, they want you to keep swinging. For Crockett, refusing to retreat is no longer just a tactic, it's identity. It tells allies she is dependable. It signals to critics she is immovable. And it brands her unmistakably in a crowded political landscape. In modern politics, clarity of character can be as important as policy detail. Voters want to know who you are when pressure rises. Her answer is visible every time the microphone turns on. Whether this approach ultimately builds bridges or burns them will shape the next phase of her career. But today, in this moment of American politics, Jasmine Crockett has made her choice: advance, speak, hold ground, and whatever comes next, face it head on.